Have you ever looked at your herbicide program and thought, do I really need this pass or can I cut it and save some money? Because in some fields, cutting costs may work, but in others, that's exactly what puts you behind the rest of the season. I'm Madisen Carns, an agricultural economics senior at Purdue who's been working with Dr. Chad Fichter to analyze herbicide programs across Indiana. This is Commercial AgBriefs, quick, research-based insights to better support farm decisions. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Every operation is looking for ways to manage costs right now, and herbicides are an obvious place to look. But the challenge is not every acre responds the same way to cutting back. Across Indiana, herbicide programs aren't just different, they're built for different environments. In northern Indiana, Valparaiso, over to Fort Wayne, we see heavier soils and in a lot of cases, a longer history of facing Waterhemp pressure. Herbicide programs in northern Indiana are more aggressive, relying heavily on herbicide residuals and multiple modes of action. Resistance, especially to glyphosate, is already part of the equation. Up there, you can't afford to fall behind early. In central Indiana, like here in Lafayette or Muncie, it's more variable. The soils are some of the most productive in the state, but here, consistent corn-soybean rotations have led to long-term herbicide use. Atrazine is still doing a lot of the work in some areas, and there's a little more flexibility. In southern Indiana, Columbus, Bedford, Vincennes, and down to French Lick, it's a different challenge entirely. Soils are often lighter, more variable, and warmer conditions with longer growing seasons mean extended emergence windows and more late-season pressure. Programs in the southern part of the state often rely on residuals that last longer to maintain control. Across the entire state, herbicides programs rely on residual herbicides up front. In higher pressure environments, a larger share of that investment is happening in the beginning. That's intentional. Herbicide programs have shifted from reactive to preventative. Keep fields clean from day one. Don't give weeds a chance to establish. Now, from an economics standpoint, this is where it gets interesting. Total herbicide investment ranges from about $45 to over $60 per acre across the state of Indiana. But the key question is, what's the cost of failure? Because if you cut back too much, you may save money up front, but you risk yield loss. You increase future pressure and control gets more expensive with time. Lower cost programs can end up costing more in the long run. Another economic factor is consistency. Programs that rely heavily on a single post pass are more sensitive to timing and more vulnerable to weather delays, whereas strong residual programs buy you time, give you flexibility, and reduce execution risk. Across Indiana, farmers are adapting to resistance. Where pressure is lower, herbicide programs can stay simpler. But as resistance increases, we see more modes of action, more layering, and higher overall investment, because maintaining control requires it. So when you pull all this together, a few things stand out. Residuals are doing most of the heavy lifting. Layering is what creates consistency. Geography drives how aggressive you need to be. And the goal isn't to minimize costs, it's to manage risk and protect return. The best programs aren't built around one product or one pass. They're built as systems, layered, preventative, and matched to pressure you're managing. You can read more about this topic in a recent article published on the Purdue Center for Commercial Agriculture website. You'll find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more research-based insights, and we'll see you next time.